whether it's hashing at intellectual property rights, or weighing the legality of trademarking dances. Today's legal landscape is full of cases that directly impact game developers. That does not mean you need to be a legal expert to work in games, but it does help to know when you can talk to when you have a question at the 2019 Game Developers Conference next month. A whole panel of legal experts will take the stage to help explain what you need to know about the most critical legal developments in the game industry. This includes hot topics like the Pan-Fortnite litigation, Nintendo's stance on ROMs, the Gamer privacy regulation, developer takedowns of streamer content, legal action against cheat distributors, and any other legal issue. No matter how fresh, you will get a ton of great insight and a chance to ask your own questions. So do not skip it. Together, Christopher Reed, Counsel, Shooting Point, Gregory Boyd, Partner, Frankfurt Kernet Klein, Sales PC, Mona Ibrahim, Senior Associate, Ilon Group, and Stephen MacArthur, Founding Attorney. The MacArthur Law Firm will present a GDC 2019 advocacy tract titled Legal Battle Royale, Not Boring Edition, in which they will discuss, or maybe fight about, the impact for developers of the most important recent legal events and issues in the industry. Further details on this talk, and many more, are available now on GDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GDC 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GDC, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or Gamasutra and GDC are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Newsbrief. Unity has acquired Vivox, the company behind free text and voice-based communication tools used in games like Fortnite, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and League of Legends. TechCrunch reports that the exact terms of the sale have not been publicly released, but notes that much of the day-to-day for Vivox will remain the same as the Unity subsidiary. The company is keeping its HQ in Framingham, Massachusetts. Will continue to operate under Vivox founder Rob Seaver, who now reports to Unity CEO Henry Chitello, and will continue to offer its tools to developers that do not use Unity. For Vivox, the acquisition does mean that its tech could reach platforms that typically do not see dual options for communication, like mobile. Thanks to Unity's own cross-platform experience, Chitello also notes that the purchase could give Vivox access to industries outside of video games, such as architecture, engineering, construction, and the auto industry. Overwatch developer Blizzard has reiterated the importance of maintaining an inclusive and respectful work environment after a former employee made some concerning allegations against the studio. Earlier this week, Jules Molecular wrote a tweet-longer post revealing he left Blizzard's esports team after being subjected to racial discrimination during his time at the company. In the lengthy write-up, Molecular details the bullying and racial abuse he suffered from April to December of 2016, and recalls how the Blizzard hierarchy failed to help despite the fact he repeatedly raised his concerns with supervisors and HR. While at Blizzard, Molecular claims his co-workers regularly make discriminatory comments and jokes about his Mexican ethnicity, suggesting he had a natural inclination to be sexist. because of his heritage. The relocutor claims those set of interactions, which escalated during his time at the company, eventually resulted in him being branded difficult to work with and not a team player in his end-of-year review, even after he had spoken with multiple managers within the esport team about his experiences with the situation spiraling out of control. The relocutor says his health eventually began to suffer, and he started experiencing panic attacks, stomach issues, and eventually suicidal thoughts. It's an account that makes for hard reading. But despite the seriousness of relocutor's claims, Blizzard has now told Variety that fostering a safe working environment is one of its top priorities. While the company does not comment on individual personnel issues, we can share that having an inclusive and respectful work environment is extremely important to us. We have a policy against harassment and discrimination and take reports of inappropriate behavior very seriously, said the company in a statement. There are a number of methods for employees to come forward should they experience or observe any inappropriate behavior. All claims of alleged harassment and discrimination which are brought to our attention are investigated, and will take action where appropriate. We strive to create an inclusive and respectful work environment that reflects Blizzard's core values in everything we do. The relocutor, however, believes the company's apparent commitment to inclusion and representation is an empty gesture, and said he decided to share his story after seeing the recent Soldier 76 announcement where the studio revealed the Overwatch character is the game's second LGBTQ hero. I write this today because the Soldier 76 announcement and subsequent tweets I did triggered me. The reason why it triggered me was not the message, but who it was coming from. Blizzard Entertainment. Here, the idea of inclusion, of representation, and every voice matters, and think globally, never meant that. For me and other people of color I have spoken to, because up until recently in the last 2 years, has the community had some representation and initiatives. But are we really represented? This is my closure. Most people did not know why I departed Blizzard Entertainment, but I could not stand idly while others did not have the slightest clue why my betrayal towards a company actually and that I poured everything to only be shown the back door. I had filed the federal complaint. This is public knowledge, and nobody can tell me I cannot share what happened to me personally. Nintendo is entering a world of virtual reality with two Nintendo Labo kits that turn the Switch into a makeshift VR headset. Both Labo VR kits will launch on April 12, and will let players run their Switch into a VR headset by slipping it into a pair of cardboard Toy-Con goggles and holding it up to their eyes. No headset required, as you'd expect from a DIY cardboard set. Nintendo is not trying to rewrite the virtual reality rulebook, but rather hopes to create a simple and shareable virtual reality experience for kids and families. These new kits build on the core tenets of Nintendo Labo, make, play and discover to introduce virtual reality in a way that's fun and approachable for both kids and kids at heart, said Nintendo of America's SVP of Sales and Marketing, Doug Bowser. We wanted to design an experience that encourages both virtual and real-world interactions among players through passing around Toy-Con creations. The complete Labo VR kit will retail for $79.99 and comes with the materials and software to build all 6 of Nintendo's virtual reality Toy-Con's creations. including conventional peripherals like autos and a blaster, and more off-the-wall selections like an elephant and bird. For those on a budget, the starter set that includes the autos and blaster will be available for $39.99. Those who choose the starter pack will be able to purchase $19.99 expansion packs to get their hands on other leftover creations. In this DD 2018 talk, Ubisoft Milan's Marco Renzo and Tommaso Sanguini explain how Ubisoft improved their animation pipeline to overcome challenges for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. The two present tools developed in order to facilitate the creativity of their animators, providing them freedom to explore, experiment, and prototype new ideas. It was an insightful talk that's definitely still worth watching, so developers should not miss the opportunity to do so now that it's freely available on the official GDC YouTube channel.